Welcome to the Morning Hot Mix with the Asphalt Nation. I'm Tim Smith. We have Chip Stewart, Chris Bishop. I'd like to introduce Chris as our newest partner in this endeavor. So the three of us are working together on this, and we're looking to make some noise in this industry and do some major disruptions, actually. So we want to make this easy for everyone. And today's topic is going to be on the real start, how you start this industry. Both these gentlemen have started very similar. I'm going to let them explain how they started and the importance of starting the way they did. So you don't have to go out and invest $50,000, $60,000 to get in this industry. So we're going to start with Chip and let him explain how he got into this industry from the very beginning and what it took to build what he's got now.
Yeah, so quick background story. We started this with a partner and we were getting ready to do our very first job. I resigned my job, so I was no longer employed, expecting to be able to do this with a partner. The night before we were to begin, my partner called and said, "Hey, I can't do this." Oh. And so I had a whole bunch of junk equipment in the backyard. I've been doing this for a long time, and we run our own business for a very short time, years and years ago. I saved a bunch of junk. We had a few $100s in the bank, and we literally took the last. I always say we took our electricity money. We took our electric payment, and we fixed up our old junky equipment. And luckily, we had one job in the pipeline. And it was a decent job for the time. And we literally went out with an old tote, a drill and a mixer, and we did our very first job that way. So know that you guys don't have to have every single thing in line to get it done. You just have to know that you're going to be ethical, responsible, and you're going to be a person of your work. We have promised this person that we're going to get their project done, and we did it.
So from there, then you just kept on reinvesting your money into the business.
Yes.
So you didn't have to go out and bankroll and get all this money from banks, and you're just able to build equipment, but piece by piece by piece.
Piece by piece, yeah, we did. Shortly after we did that job, we were able to acquire an old car hauler trailer. And one of the hotels that we dealt with way before needed a major job with a 2-coat squeegee, serious sand load. And so I went out and got a second tote, and all of a sudden we doubled our capacity. We were ready to go. And we did the whole thing by hand with squeegees. And after that job, we were able to find another individual that I knew was selling an older seal rig. We picked that thing up, and now all of a sudden we have a spray rig with automatic agitation, hydraulic agitation, and I think at the same time we bought a really good. We started out with some cobbled together stuff, and so now we had a good seal rig, a good blower, the right hand tools. My dad loaned me $500 to buy a trailer and we put asphalt in, and we were able to now patch. We still had to rent the Bobcat, we still had to rent the chop saws, but we're able to actually, now we're making a difference.
Right.
But we started from very, very humble beginning.
And you made money doing it.
And we had to, because this was, I had resigned my job.
Yeah.
This was my income.
Yeah.
And so we were super motivated, and we were not going to let anybody down. I wasn't going to let my family down. I wasn't going to let my dad down. And it wasn't nearly as hard. The hardest part of it was getting that first drop of sealer on the ground. The main focus of what I'm trying to say is just get started. You need to dot your I's and cross your T's. You definitely need to have your licensure in place. You definitely need to have your insurance in place. You need to make sure that your vehicles are covered under a commercial policy. But beyond that, you can get started with a 5-gallon bucket and a squeegee.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Chris, let's hear how you got started.
That's a perfect role. But thank you guys for not only inviting me, bringing me along for this wonderful journey, and I see nothing but positivity of it, not just for us, but also for our community that we're building great things. I see that. So several years ago, basically, I guess, let me back up there. I started for somebody else years ago out of college, just as like a summertime college job. helped a local guy, who owned a silicone and asphalt business. Um, I just worked, I think, 1 year for him. I paid attention, I listened, and I learned a hell of a lot, that's for sure. Um, when I sold the business, I basically looked at my wife and said, what's my next adventure? What's our adventure? I was like, hey, I know seal coating, I know asphalt a little bit, did a little bit of asphalt with one of my buddies that's local. We basically took that leap. I went out, bought a hand blower. I had very little money, bought a hand blower, had a squeegee, brush. Um, I used a 5 gallon bucket. That's how I started. And made door hangers, put them out, had some phone calls, and back to the failure was not an option for me.
Right, yeah.
That was not an option for me. So that was my drive. I had to be there for my family. Started by just a pickup, 5 gallon bucket. Turned that into eventually saved money, bought my first 100 gallon seal coating unit. And as things progressed, I reinvested in the business so I could do more. To skip a few years, we were always asked to do asphalt or to do asphalt. That's where I began local relationships so we could broaden our division of what we do to provide for our clientele. We work locally in 5 states with subcontractors, wonderful relationships. Back a little bit, I'll probably jump around, but back to our team, I will always say without my team, Precision Asphalt Sealers is not Precision Asphalt Sealers. I basically, when I was new, I didn't know anything about accounting. I didn't know anything about a contract. I called up an attorney. I found a very reputable attorney, accountant, and I set up appointments with them. Sat, got drilled by them, questioned, got drilled by them, and learned what to focus on, what not to focus on, and what eventually get to, like workman's comp and whatnot. Now, we're in 5 different states, in the nation. I see nothing but positivity, but, just being blue collar and just starting where I was, it's been a wonderful journey.
Right. And so you say a lot of it was a progression. That you start here and you move a little further and you move a little further and pretty soon you're moving up the mountain.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
you see further down the road, the higher up on the hill, the further you can see. And your growth is going to be exponential once you hit a certain level, and it takes a lot of work to get there.
Right.
But as long as you're willing to keep putting in, you can keep on growing.
And bring up, we also own water supply out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. We supply, we're a distributor for anybody locally, sealer, crack fill, equipment. Almost every piece of equipment out there we can sell. But I had the dream of not owning just my seal coating business. When I would go to that local distributor, I started to have a dream then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is it was like a candy. I was a kid in a candy shop. And I was like, man, I really wish I could be a distributor, and have all this, what we have here today. And we are very blessed to have what we have. And many people are involved to where we got subcontractors and my team, accountants, attorney, everybody, employees. And that's how Water Supply kind of came about. Was I walked into the local distributor where I went, and I want to do this. This is cool.
Yeah.
And then saving so much, and with the help of, like I said, with the team of everybody, we opened up Water Supply last year, and it's been nothing but success. And we got a bright future. That's absolutely we have such a bright future for Water Supply. But that's kind of what Water Supply came about, and another passion, a vision that I saw that I wanted, and a lot of heartache, a lot of tears,
Mhm.
lots
No
of
doubt.
tears.
Tears are,
Nothing happened overnight, that was for sure.
right,
And just the beginning of that and just where we're at today, very much.
and it all started with a 5-gallon bucket.
That is true.
And that's
And
kind of our story, and, you know, you guys can do the same thing. Don't feel the pressure to have every single thing and have to have, you know, there's certain things that you need to have. But as far as having the 700-gallon rig, having every single thing being brand new and every single piece of equipment you see the guys that have been in business a long time have, that's not where you don't have to start there. You can start with a home driveway, a 5-gallon bucket. You know, your neighbors, your mother-in-laws, the old guy down the street who just needs to have something done. It's a great place to practice, and you can give while you're receiving. It's a really amazing thing, and you can go with this business as a one-man show with a helper, a family member, or just yourself. You can make a really, really good living. You don't have to just continue to grow. That's your choice. You can take this to a level that's easy, and then you can keep on moving to different levels. It gets a little harder as you move levels. You have to learn different skills and learn different things. But the point of this is that you can tailor this company, this endeavor, this journey to what you're really looking for, what your dreams and goals are.
I got one good story, touching on that topic of, I never thought I would be into commercial. I thought I'd be a little guy that wouldn't progress. I don't know why I had that doubt. And I was talking this today, which Will, actually, matter of fact, perfect example of how I went from residential, let's say crack fill and seal coating maintenance, how I went from residential to commercial was a perfect example of this phone call this morning. He was like, I only have such a small tank. And I was like, well, why don't you buy, this is the only time I was like, suggest totes. He's got a smaller tank. And I said, well, when I had a small tank, what I would do is I would get a tote, fill it up in the back of the truck. And at that time, my truck was not a 2500, so I couldn't haul a tote and the trailer. It couldn't do it. So what I did is 2 days before, I reached out to the commercial property we're doing, my first commercial property. I said, hey, can I drop off a tote? Do you guys have a receiver? And they were more than happy with that phone call. They were more than happy to help out. They're like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you know. So I dropped off 2 days before I dropped tote off. So I had 275 gallons of sealer already there at, they just put inside for the job. And then what I did is I had my small rig, and basically once we ran out of the sealer in that small rig, believe it or not, they went with their forklift and they raised up that tote for me.
Unless you pour it right.
And we opened up, we just poured it into the tank so I could continue working.
Yeah.
So when I only had it might have been a 200 or 300 gallon tank I had. Now I had a 500 or 600 gallons already on the job site. So just crazy things what I had to do to get where I
Right.
You know,
And
so
if you think a little bit ahead of time, you can put these things together.
right, and that was one thing in that conversation, and it was like, dude, I didn't even think about that. And it's all the challenges we go through to get where we're at, and the stories we all would have, and everybody that's up and rising. The stories we all are gonna have are just amazing lessons to collaborate with
Right.
and see where we all came from.
Yeah.
Like it was blood, sweat, and tears. That is the truth.
The stories would be not the same, but very similar.
Yeah.
But the freedom you have in return is my pride and joy. Is the freedom to have with family, to have our own schedules, to be able to spend a little bit more time with family is the biggest reward
Right.
that I've got.
I know with mine, I mean, I started out, I did probably close to 200 hours of research, just figuring out how to build my system. And I built my own system from the ground up, which actually morphed into what we're doing today. And part of our business is the Pro Coat. So I built that, went out, my initial investment with building everything was like $8,000. And I had that money back within 3 weeks, I think, 4 weeks, part-time. So if you guys need help with seeing how to do things like that, we're here to help you. My business has went full circle from actually being out in the field doing it to subcontracting 95% of the work.
Right.
Right.
And we're the Asphalt Nation, we're actually going to be subcontracting nationwide. So be prepared, guys. If we get jobs and we reach out to you, make sure you have your insurance, your business license, and you're incorporated, because that's what we need. We need people in that industry that we can push work out to.
Yeah, they're looking to better themselves. And the cool thing too is that when I started, I didn't have this network. I started on my own. Now I did have a coach and a mentor. I bought my little piece of company from Jimmy Carter, and he taught me what I needed to know. And I'm sure he'd be very proud of where we're at now. And we didn't have a network. We were alone trying to figure out what's next.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
and the nights of all of a sudden in the middle of the night waking up, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And then thinking just like Chris did, oh, I can put 4 totes on my big trailer and I can take it down and drop it on the job. And now I have enough sealer to get through the project the way that the project manager wants me to get through it, instead of
Yeah, I was definitely scared to ask.
Yeah,
Because I was like, I caught myself in that situation because I didn't think about it. And I caught myself in the situation of like, I don't wanna ask my own client, like, I don't suggest it, but I had to do what I had to do. And when I asked them if they would help me with the tow, they were more than happy. It was just putting down, just believing in myself and just,
That's right.
taking that leap of making that phone call or that email. It was like, if you guys do act forklift, do you guys mind? And it was rewarded.
Yes, you'll find that most of your clients are really happy to help you complete their job. Because it gives you a bonding experience, and you probably do a little bit better job because they were willing to help you help them.
And what's awesome that you guys are doing with your business coaching, again, I didn't even have that. I like YouTube and everything. It was never like what it is today, where literally you can learn almost anything, which is awesome. But it was a lot of trial and error for a lot of us, and it will be for everybody. But would I have loved to sign up for a business coach, or a mentor to help coach me along the way? Would that save me a lot of hurdles?
Yeah, thousands of dollars it would have saved you.
Absolutely.
Tens of thousands.
Absolutely.
So definitely check us out on the Asphalt Nation, because there's so much resources on there and so much more resources being added. We have some great coaching programs in there. Definitely want to check those out, and we can help you. If you guys need help, we got 3 guys right here that are willing to help you as much as we can.
And I would say, not to cut you off, sorry. Between the 3 of us and our arsenal behind us, we all know someone or somehow for help or knowledge.
Somebody in our network
Somebody knows
has
something
the
that can give you the right answer, or if you're buying equipment or material or knowledge, again, absolutely, like, it's unstoppable.
Yeah, that's right.
So I thank you guys both for being here with me. It's great. I love having you guys around me.
Yeah.
It's been very beneficial. And again, if you guys need anything, reach out to us. We're willing to help. We're trying to build this community to help each other. So check out the Asphalt Nation. Also check out lostsupply.com, and make sure you follow Chip. He has some good stuff. And then
Asphalt Pro.
yeah, and then follow Chris as well with Precision. And I'm going to do another little plug for my little buddy Brody. Follow Brody Bishop on YouTube. You're going to love it. He does a lot of challenges on there. So I was given the challenge of getting 200 subscribers. So
So we have to do that.
Like and
Yes,
subscribe, please.
yes, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But Brody, many people now know our son, who's 9. He, make a long story short, actually, a lot of people, he kind of took the limelight away from me. Man, I hate this, I'll tell you, he asked me to take a picture of him, and I was like, man, I'm your assistant, you know?
Yeah, right.
But, man, speak of him a little bit, man. He loves it, you know, he's in here, he's in water supply, he's helping out, he visits on the job sites, but, he really loves this industry. What he chooses to do when he gets older, you know, I will always support him. But man, he really loves each and every one, and that everybody knows. He appreciates everybody in this industry, and it's really cool to see that. And
Yeah,
everyone welcomes him. Just it's a beautiful
Very intelligent young man. Also, the giveaway, right after this.
Yes, so we're giving away a stencil kit from St. Day Stencil, and that is from our Florida invasion that we did back in March. So the people who remember at that event were entered in the drawing. We gave the first one away earlier the other day. That was Steve Christmer. He won the 2 brushes and the safety gear. So then at 9 o'clock, we're going to be doing a live drawing for the stencil kit, and then Thursday night at 9 or a little bit thereafter, we're doing a live drawing for the grand prize, which is a Echo trimmer, which is donated by Water Supply. The brushes and safety gear was donated by Asphalt Pro. So make sure you tune in for that and like and share that as well, and help us get this community growing. And again, just want to thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe. A bunch of links will be in the bottom of this, and just share it out for us. Help us grow so we can help you.
That's right.
Thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you.